So coming into this year, I was telling individual investors that I thought the TSX and the New York markets would have a positive year. And everyone was saying, they thought I was crazy. Some people thought, well, rates are going up, inflation is still an issue. There's unfortunately the war is still going on, Ukraine, China situation, geopolitics, all of that, was on the scene at the start of the year. But the market is definitely showing a lot of resiliency. And I have a chart here, two charts actually, and might be hard to see the actual numbers. However, these are charts going back. Let's take the TSX first, S&P TSX chart. You can see it here. And the main thing to notice here, the numbers might be hard to read. It goes back to 1988. But what you should be able to see is the red versus the green. And you can see on the far right-hand column, that's the percent gain or loss. And what is most important about this chart, going back to 1988, so roughly 35 years, we've only had one time where the markets have lost money on the TSX. The TSX market has lost money back to back. And that was in 2001 and 2002. And if you look at the S&P 500, which is the next chart that we have, you'll notice a similar thing, that everything is green. And then you have actually 3 years in a row of markets falling 2001, 2001, and 2002. But that is the only time that the markets have had a back-to-back years of negative returns. So coming into this year, not that I like to use the word gamble or betting with regards to markets, but if you were a betting man, you or woman, you would have said chances of seeing a negative year are quite remote, slim chance, especially coming off one of the worst years we've seen since World War II in 2022. You would have said, well, I don't know how high the markets are going to go in 2023, but the chances are they're going to be positive. And that was the feeling coming into this year. And that brought on, in my opinion, a wave of buying at the start of the year, especially in tech stocks, which was the most beaten up area last year. I know a lot of individual investors came into this year talking about oil stocks. Unfortunately, those have been a poorer performer. The oil sector hasn't done nearly as well as many people anticipated. But overall, it was this idea of let's buy the things that were down last year because they're so cheap this year. The Fed and Bank of Canada are near the end of their interest rate hiking cycle, and this next year to come is going to be positive. And didn't know how positive it would be. Obviously, it's exceeding my expectations in the US right now. In Canada, I anticipated somewhere around an 8 to 10% gain, and we're on pace for that over the course of this year. So overall, I think that if you're looking to the second half of this year, we're almost there now, a couple of weeks left in the first half, I think you could rest assured that we will see a positive outcome to 2023. Obviously, there are no guarantees, but based on history, based on where things are sitting today, I think there's a pretty good chance at the end of the year, you will see a positive number on the major North American indices.